Hi friends, good morning. Today we are going to talk about understanding development, perspectives, measurement and sustainability. Unit 1 in economics lesson. What is perspectives? About your opinion. What is development? Development nothing, it's an improvement. It's a progress. It's a freedom to grow. So, what are the other things? So, we are going to be learn in this objectives. We can see in a learning objectives. Sustainability. The ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. The first thing what we are going to discuss here about the introduction. What is development? The word development is used widely. Widely, that means mostly we are using for the further development. Okay, that is for the progress, for your freedom to grow, for bettering yourself, for the improvement. For all these purposes, we are using very widely in the world. The word development is used widely. What it refers? It refers to the progress of a particular field or a particular person. What it refers? It refers to the progress of a particular field. For example, you can say about your progress report during quarterly exam, what you have scored and what you have scored in half-yearly exam, whether you have some improvement or not. So that betterment you are finding in that, or about a particular person, like that is about you. Similarly, the economic progress of a country is known as economic development. This is about your person or about your particular field, like economic industrial purpose. Now here, the economic progress of a country is known as economic development. So do you understand, children, what is development? It refers to the progress of a particular field or a particular person. However, the interpretation of the concept development keeps on changing from time to time, from person to person, and its meaning gets extended further. So that we are going to see. This is the introduction of the development. Now look at this. What is the different perspectives about the development? What is the perspectives we have told about your opinion? What are the opinions about the development? Every human being has an ambition, their own aim, or their desire of his or her own to achieve the progress in their life. Similarly, we have the ideas about how a country should progress, how we are thinking about ourselves. Like that, we have to think about our country, the country's progress. If our thinking turns towards progress and about the ways to achieve the many goals for progress, it leads to development. So that is the perspectives. Now look at the diagram. Let us try to imagine what development means to different people. Development, it proves improvement. It proves progress. It proves your freedom to grow, bettering yourself, never-ending process, grows within, advance, part of daily life. Development is a part of daily life. Day-to-day life, we are surviving here and there. So how we are improving our infrastructure. So not doing the same mistake again and again. Okay, that is twice. Way of moving forward, better standard of living, you're checking that. So growing process in a needed direction. So these are the different types how you people are imagining about the development. From the above diagram, what you have just noticed, that other than the income, people seek freedom to grow on their own. Thus, development refers to the improvement in quality of life, such as higher income, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty and more equal opportunity. The term economic development refers to the overall growth of all the sectors of the economy. What is the sectors? Like our primary sector, secondary sectors and tertiary sectors. Primary sector consists of agriculture and mining. Then secondary sector is the manufacturing industries. Tertiary sector refers to service sector. So all these sectors of the economy, by adoption of new technologies, economic development improves. What it improves? The living standard of the people as well as the status of the country. That is the per capita income. It denotes, it dignifies that the standard of the people, how we are living. So we are expecting day-to-day life should be improved. Not in the same condition. What we are surviving, it should not be in the same for the next day or by the next week or the next month. Whatever may be the year, you are progressing, you are developing. So it proves that the economic development. So economic development improves the living standard of the people as well as the status of the country. Now what are the indicators of economic development? These are the major one. The major indicators to measure the level of economic development are Net National Product, NNP. These are the important questions. They are asking you in expand NNP, PCI, then PPP, then HDI. 2 questions are available in this passage itself. So major indicators to measure the level of economic development are Net National Product, NNP, per capita income, PCI, purchasing power parity, PPP, and human development index, HDI. So what is given here in the do you know matter? Final money value of total goods and services produced within the geographic boundaries of a country during a specific period of time. Normally a year is known as gross domestic product. That is, what is GDP? It's a final money value of total goods and services. Services are called as a intangible one, okay, which we are not realizing that. Goods, we can touch and we can feel that. So that is the difference between the goods and services. The first point of view about Net National Product. Net National Product is considered as a true measure of national output. Output is nothing but a product. It's a national output. It is also known as national income. What is national income? The entire nation's income it is processing, bringing into account total money of value of goods and services. So it is also known as national income. A rise in per capita income means an increase in aggregate real output. Hence, this is a better indicator than the national income for measuring the development. So, national income rather than you're comparing, the net national product is a good one to show the indicator level. For measuring a country's development, its income is considered to be one of the most important factors. Countries with a higher income are considered to be more developed than those with lesser income. So, income itself is considered to be one of the indicators of economic development. This is one of your one-word answer. Income itself is considered to be one of the indicators of economic development. The next point of view is per capita income. It's another short answer you're finding. Very important one, per capita income. We are comparing the development of various countries. Total income is not satisfactory measure. Since countries have different populations, comparing total income will not be the suggestive of what an average person is likely to earn. As the people in our country are better off than others in a different country. So look at the average income is calculated. This is one of your objective. The average income. Average is your dash. Average income is calculated by dividing the country's total income by its total population. The formula for this PCI is per capita income equal to population. National income divided by population. So it shows you like total income by its population. Either it may be a state or maybe a district or a nation. It proves you that. PCA of a state. That means State income divided by state population. Per capita income of a nation. National income divided by population. So like that they are dividing. The average income is also called per capita income. So what is the answer? The average income is also called per capita income. Calculations on the per capita income of all countries are calculated only in the US dollar in order to compare the international level. How they are calculating? With the US dollar. General foreign income, US dollar. Based on that, they are just calculating their national income. Per capita income according to the World Bank report, new income measurements of countries are classified here. It's based on 2017 and 18. Look at that purchasing power parity. What is that parity? Having a equal pay or position. Purchasing power, which country has a equal rights or equal position, equal pay. Either they are working in the sense or they are just running a business like that. Purchasing power parity is defined as the number of units of a country's currency which required to buy the same amount of goods and services in the domestic market as $1 would buy in the US. The technique of purchasing power parity allows us to estimate what exchange between two currencies is needed to express the accurate purchasing power of the two currencies in the respective countries. That means what amount you are just getting for a $1 equal to Indian rupees, the same value should be there with that other countries too. But it is impossible. Which country has the equal pay or the equal position? That is only we called as a purchasing power parity. Recently, India became the third largest economy in terms of PPP. What is the PPP? Purchasing power parity. China became the largest, defeating the US to the second position. Who became the second? China, the largest, defeating the US to the second position. Now, final point, we are discussing human development. You know very well about the human. Without the human resource, nothing is possible to develop, to show the progress, right, of any country in the world. Like that only, we are going to discuss about the human development. Without the human's knowledge, no business can run out. So no resources can be utilized. So human resource is necessary for the progress of any country. The term human resource refers to the collective abilities of people which can be utilized in the production sector. Human resource development means what? The development of a person's physical and mental abilities through the education, health care and the training. Therefore, investment in education and health of people can result in high rate of returns in the future for a country. For example, if a child is invested with a good education and health, either he or she may turn to be very productive in future in the form of higher earnings and greater contribution to the society. Human Development Index HDI, which indicates all-round development of the people in the society. Now, the next point of view we are going to discuss about sustainability of development. Sustainable. What is the meaning for that sustainable? It is totally increasing power. Power is just increasing in a higher authority. The development. Sustainable economic development is taken to mean development without damaging the environment and not compromising with the needs of the future generation. The consequences of environmental degradation do not respect to national or state boundaries. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers and other social scientists are working together. Here we are going to discuss in the sustainable development about the natural resources which are growing naturally, which are finding naturally, about minerals, non-minerals, everything. Natural resources can be divided into two. One is a renewable resource, another one is non-renewable resource. Renewable resources are what? It's a replenishable. Again and again after using, you can able to get back. Example, solar energy, wind energy, water, etc. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable. Again and again after using, you are unable to get back very soon. It will take long time to get back. So like minerals, coal, petroleum, etc. Now good example. Groundwater is an example for a renewable resource after using, consuming from the well or from the tube, that you are just getting a water again and again. The question arises to how sustainable development is possible if the resources are overused rather than getting replenished. Non-renewables get exhausted after a certain number of years of extracting and using them, and they cannot be replenished. So look at the example for the renewable resource. This is the difference between your finding renewable resource and the non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are like, look at that, what is in picture, plants, animals. From the natural resources, you are getting both renewable and non-renewable resources. Non-renewable like minerals, fossil fuels, soil, etc. Now look at the renewable resource. What are the points? Renewable resources are a replenishable resource. They are pollution free and environmental friendly. These resources take a short time for renewal. Example, solar energy, wind energy, water, wood and the paper. What is renewable resource? It's a replenishable resource and the pollution free and eco-friendly one. So this is very helpful. Now look at the non-renewable. It's a water level decisions. It shows you from the ground to the carving out. Non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable resource which pollute and damage the environment. Millions of years are needed for the formation of these resources. To get back the resources, it will take millions of years. Example, metals, glass, fossil fuels, that is example coal, petroleum, natural gas, diesel. So these are the good example for the non-renewable resources. Finally, the policies for sustainable development. Use of non-conventional sources of energy. India depends on thermal and hydropower plants to meet its power needs. Both these resources have an adverse environmental impact. Thermal power plants which emit the large quantities of carbon dioxide which pollute the environment. Now, solar power in India. Solar power, it's another important question. It's the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity either directly using photovoltaic cells or indirectly using concentrated solar power. Solar power is the conversion of energy from where? From the sunlight. What they are just making? They are sunlight into electricity either directly or by using photovoltaic cells, indirectly using concentrated solar power. Solar panels absorbs the sunlight as a source of energy to generate the electricity. Look at the solar panels, how it is. The picture shows you the solar panels, how the sun is extracting that. A solar electric system can reliably produce electricity for our home and offices. These distributed solar systems are often installed by home and business owners to reduce their electricity cost. Solar power in India is a fast developing industry. Tamil Nadu is the state with the highest installed solar capacity in India. Tamil Nadu is one of the leading solar power producing states in India. As on 31st July 2017, the total installed capacity in Tamil Nadu is 1697 megawatts of electricity. Now, the last point of view, environmental policies in India. Environmental, a plan, policies. What is shows that policy? A plan of action which agreed or chosen by a government, a company, etc. That we called as a policies. Environmental policies in India have been evolved considerably over the past 3 decades. Each decade consider as a 10 years. So 3 decades means 30 years. These policies have covered a wide range of issues such as air, water pollution, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. India faces challenges in economic development which has to be achieved with limited resources, minimum externalities, and in the presence of an uncertain climate. So development increases the quality of life. This means that people will have higher incomes, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty and more equality of opportunity.